You're just funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Berardo Podcast. I am your host, Tony Berardo. But you guessed it, it is not the Berardo Podcast because of just me. Hence that's why we called it Berardo Podcast and not Tony Berardo Podcast. I am here with my wife of almost 2 years, Miss Brenda Berardo.
Hey, y'all. Insert top number here.
Yes. But I wanted to have you on a while ago, but this is a special episode because we are officially, well, technically 13, but let's call it 14 days in.
Today's 14.
Today is 14? So 14 days in quarantine from COVID-19. So let's give a little cheers. We made it this long without
Cheers.
being diagnosed. Thank goodness. Well,
Or killing each other.
yeah, I mean, we don't really know if we have it, I guess, because we haven't got tested, but
Well, you show symptoms apparently within 14 days. And today's landmark. So we haven't had any symptoms unless we wake up tomorrow and shitstorm hits us. I don't know.
So we're symptom free.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So for those of you who don't know, that aren't from Earth and don't know about COVID-19, so obviously this is a flu-like, and I'm saying this for people that are listening to us in 2050 that are looking back at everybody saying, I can't believe this happened in 2020. But this is a flu-like symptom, I guess, virus.
Yeah.
Coronavirus is like the main virus. And then underneath coronavirus is like SARS, COVID-19. So COVID is what they call it to classify because they don't really have a better name for it, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the shitty virus that we're dealing with. And it literally just hit us, we're in March 29th right now. And it hit us like the first week of March in the country. 3 months ago, I think it hit China is what it was. But of course it was brought over by wet markets. So they say it got traced back to, are you familiar with the wet markets?
Mm-mm.
So wet markets are like the ones where you see in Asia and China, where it's like all animals.
Mm.
Chickens, roosters, gator, crickets, bats, and that's where they traced it back from as a wet market in some part of
Wuhan.
Asia. Wuhan, thank you. Yeah, it was a Wuhan market. So
Right?
that's what it
Wuhan?
was. Yeah, Wuhan. Yeah. So that's the wet market. So I don't want to say it's because of animals, because of course I'll dabble in fish and eggs every now and again, but I don't know. We haven't gotten anything super crazy like this from plants. I mean, you get salmonella, sure, occasionally. You get maybe some bad spinach or something like that, but something that's a worldwide epidemic like this, and SARS came from a wet market too. So a lot of it comes from wet markets, not necessarily just, meat, but the way meat is managed and stuff. It's crazy that it's come to this point where we got to literally shut down the whole world.
Literally.
It's nuts, right?
Literally. It is crazy to think about that we are, as a whole Earth, we're pretty much stay home.
Yeah.
But it's weird. 6 feet apart. It's weird stuff that we're living in. I mean, I'll look at the silver linings, even though having to stay home, even though I'm a homebody anyway, we're pretty much homebodies, but
Yeah.
having the option to leave is nice. But to not have the option, I feel like adds a little bit extra,
Yeah, that's true, right?
Like, I like the option to leave. Do I leave? No. But I like the option to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a condom, right? It's better to have one and not need it than need one and not have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I'd rather have that option. But, I mean, I'm taking it as the Earth needed a break from humans ruining everything,
Yeah.
I think.
No, it's
You
so
know?
true.
And it's also a little reset for everyone, I feel.
Yeah.
Because that gives you a moment to kind of, get yourself in perspective, get the important things in perspective, relax a little, because we're all wound so tight, whether it's from driving to work, traffic, dealing with other people.
Yeah.
I mean, work stress, even though lucky for us, we can have jobs that work from home, but even that, it's a little bit stressful to not have the same resources as I would in the office at home. Like, everything's virtual. I don't know.
Yeah, how was your work dealing with it? With, like, day one when they found out about it? Not necessarily day one, but you know what I mean?
I mean, you know, they had to do the stay at home. Obviously, a lot of people started to feel uncomfortable. I mean, I'm in an office that's an open space. We're all breathing the same air. We're all right next to each other, dealing with each other on a constant basis. I mean, there's one door to get into the office, one door out, so everyone's touching the same handle. It was just crazy. So people started feeling uncomfortable, and obviously, you know, then it started progressing.
Yeah.
I felt like by the hour. And they're like, yep, we're working from home. I mean, they started doing virtual meetings.
That was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty quick. Within 2 days, we had new software that we had to use, Zoom meetings and Microsoft Teams, and figure out. I mean, we came back from the Bahamas that Monday, and I took Tuesday off just to, like, so we can get ourselves on our feet and get ready in case we're stuck inside for like 9 weeks. And then the next day, I literally had to hop on and learn 3 different things that I had never used before and do my job at the same time.
Yeah, and that was March, like, 20th? Or no?
Yeah, it was
like
that week.
14th or something?
We came back the 16th.
Yeah, so that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
But, yeah, it's just an adjustment. I mean, it took, at least a week to kind of recalibrate my routine. Obviously, I'm going to also take the silver linings in that, where now I don't have to deal with traffic.
That's
I
true.
just get up, 7:45, will walk my happy butt downstairs, sit at the table, and turn on my computer, and I'm at work.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is nice. It is, it's cool working from home. I mean, I work from home all the time, every day. But it's weird when you're at home, and like you said earlier, when you want to leave, that's where it's like, it's one of those things where usually if I was working at home and I wanted to, like, actually get shit done, I usually don't do it here, because then I'm focused on, you know, going on Facebook, or sometimes I, like, want to do a podcast, you know, Monday at, like, noon for my lunch break, and I'm like, I can't do it. And I want to leave, so sometimes I, like, go to First Watch or Starbucks or something, just use their Wi-Fi, get a tea or something like that. But you can't even do that now.
Nope.
You know, everyone has to stay home no matter what. And it's kind of weird. I mean, it's definitely testing us, but I think there's a lot of good that comes from it. Do you have your phone on you?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Can you look up, I'm curious what site, maybe you could text it to me or email it to me so I could put it up in post video, but that pollution map.
I think I sent it to you in a link. But
that's pretty crazy how, like, just from people not doing stuff for the past 2 weeks, you know, pollution has gone down, the ozone, you know, has, like, shown the smallest amount of holes in the ozone layer as it has since, like, 1982.
and that's
Something.
that's why I'm thinking, like, you know, this is kind of, obviously we wouldn't anticipate something like this happening, but, you know, I'm a decent believer in some signs. It's like, yo, y'all need to chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that could, it could be an environmental thing that caused whatever happened to even start this. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, environmentally, like, whatever. I know it's there's a lot of shit out there, and I haven't really read into it because I'll drive myself insane.
Yeah.
But I know bats, and that's where it all began.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, it could be environmental as well. Like, hello, China has a very high pollution.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they're handling things, what they thought was proper could be contaminated by something else. So it's kind of like a little reset.
Yeah.
I
No, you're
feel.
right. Yeah.
I don't know the specifics, like I said, but
Well, not for nothing, but there's a lot of people in this world.
a lot of people.
And I think the problem is we all have, like, our different, every country, every city, every nation has, like, different ways we want to handle things. And, you know, whether that's with food or handling stuff or dealing with the environment, or is climate change real, is it not? You know, should you farm this way? Should you farm that way? Should you hunt? Should you not? We're just all on these different, you know, paths. So it's kind of hard to manage. I mean, the Earth. I mean, now more than ever, we're actually realizing that we're all one species, and if we don't get our shit together and we all get on the same book, then, you know, this library is going to close down. If you dig what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With that metaphor. But that's the thing. So I think it's going to suck for a lot of people, especially people that aren't lucky enough to have jobs that pay to work from home like we do.
And that was another thing. I mean, there are people out, obviously, I feel stressed about it because obviously, you know, I have a lot of people that I care about that are pretty susceptible to this coronavirus, like autoimmune disease, diabetes. My dad's over 70, like my mom's 60. So, you know, the people that my dad's in a facility, and that stresses me out because we're not allowed to see him. He's alone there, like they're keeping them in their rooms, like that's stressful on him. He misses my mom misses him, all this stuff, and it's like, it's out of this world. It's just crazy. And people dealing, like for us, we're not that stressed because, I mean, we have jobs, we're still getting paid. We're still kind of doing our regular routine, but just from home. Yeah. But then there's people that have literally lost their jobs.
Are really getting affected by it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and now they're not even receiving that. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, president, you're going to send a single mom $1,200. What the fuck's that going to do? Yeah. Like,
I mean, it's better than nothing.
I guess, but if it's a single mom with 3 kids, $1,200 will be gone in a week. Yeah. Probably.
I mean, I think they did pass that bill for $2 trillion to bail people out. I think that got passed, or at least it was going to Congress. I don't know if it got passed completely. But just a side note from that. So just today, a country singer died. I forget his name. From corona.
Joe Diffie.
Joe Diffie, that's who it was.
Yeah. Passed away from complications.
That was today, right? Yeah. Oof. That's wicked, man.
No one's immune as in social class. Right. I mean, there's celebrities that have it. I mean, fucking Tom Hanks has it. Ugh. Yeah. It missed 6ix9ine, but that's okay. We'll forgive it.
6ix9ine?
Yeah, that rapper.
The tattoo dude?
Yeah. It missed him, but got Tom Hanks, so.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, indeed.
But I think it's also important that we do our own research and look at everything that's going on and not just headline read. Mm-hmm. You know, because there was a couple people, you know, in my family, I don't want to say who, but that called me like when this first broke out, and you know, I was like, yeah, we're staying in quarantine, we're doing what we got to do, yada yada yada. I was like, I'm doing all the right things, but you know, I'm good. Like, I was trying to convince this person, I got it. It's all gravy. I get it. You know, I got to be a little bit careful because of my disease. I understand that. And that person's like, well, you know, this person died of corona at 34. So it's not just old people. And I was like, are you talking about the dude from Disney? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, that guy, like, he just battled like testicular cancer. Mm-hmm. I think he had a lot of other stuff. He had like a couple surgeries. I think he had like type 2 diabetes. Like, it was just
and he went to Disney World, the petri dish of germs.
Correct. So it's like, you know, when you see that, the whole idea is 34-year-old dies of coronavirus. Yeah. And yeah, that's true. But if you just read that and share it and, you know, spread it on social media, that's how a lot of people get, you know, misinformed, and then the fear takes over, and then people get angry, and then that 34-year-old or 40-year-old hoards all the toilet paper and shit. It's like, save it for the old people. You know, you don't really need it just because one guy.
I still don't get the toilet paper.
It makes no sense.
Like, I don't get it.
Which, by the way, I'll leave a link in the description. We're selling toilet paper for $40 a roll, in case you're interested.
I just don't get it.
Because we don't need it. I'll use my hands. I don't care. I'm indifferent about that. I'd rather have the money. I don't know why people are spending so much money on toilet paper.
I don't know. And did you see, like, Sam's and Costco, they're not accepting returns after this passes? It's like, good for you.
Good.
Because why the fuck? Mm-hmm. It makes no sense. this coronavirus doesn't cause diarrhea.
No.
It's like having a bad cold.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the toilet paper. I don't get it. Yeah, I get the Lysol wipes and, you know,
Paper
the Lysol
towels.
spray. Maybe even the paper towels. I'm like, Like, there's regular towels and you can wash and sanitize those if need be. But, like, even the paper towels. If you have Clorox wipes, why do you need the paper towels? I don't know.
It's crazy.
That's just me. But it's just, and it's also like, I mean, I can't vouch for any other state, but Florida, they're like, oh my God, this pandemic, we're going into quarantine. And people acted like a Category 5 hurricane was coming, like the power was going to go out.
Yeah.
People, you can get your fresh shit. You don't need to clear out the shelves of non-perishables. You still have power.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. You can get frozen things. But people like went absolutely insane. People are fighting in the grocery store. I'm like, I feel like, again, back to the whole reset of everybody. I hope and pray that after all this is over, people stop being assholes. Like,
Yeah.
at least a little bit less assholes.
That's true.
I hope.
Yeah. Hopefully this will get everyone to understand, you know, we're all family, we're all one species. We need to take care of each other and, you know, and respect each other. Hopefully that's what happens.
I mean, like, even the other day, we went for a walk, and there was 2 assholes within 2 minutes. And I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now? Like,
that's an asshole a minute.
I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. That is it is kind of funny though, like with the quarantine, I do find myself wanting to do other stuff. So again, it's kind of good that I thought I was going to be hooked on social media, and of course, I think I probably use my, you know, Instagram and Facebook and now TikTok. Fuck. I've used that more now than I have, you know, since I've had it just the last couple of weeks, because you're just stuck at home all the time.
Yeah.
But I do find myself wanting to get out more. It's almost like you know, it's like Romeo and Juliet, right? Like, what's Juliet's family called? You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
The Capricorns and the Montague or something like that. Fuck.
No idea.
Alexa, what are the refuting families in Romeo and Juliet?
Here's something I found on the web.
I'll cut this out later.
According to reference.com, in the play, Romeo and Juliet are from the rival Montague and Capulet families, who frequently engage in public conflicts.
The Montague and the Capulet. Those are tough. But
Yes.
anyway, it's kind of like that, to where the Montague is telling, you know, Romeo or whoever it was to not hang out with Juliet. So of course they want to do it more. So I feel like that's what's happening, is like everyone's telling us not to go out. So like I want to go for more walks
That's like when they said, don't touch your face. And I feel like my face itched the most.
all the time. Correct.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Or it's like they tell you, hey, don't think about elephants.
Thought about elephants.
First thing you think about is elephants. It's crazy.
Or when you tell kids don't do that,
They
first
do it.
thing they do is do it.
Yeah.
It's just a challenge.
Yeah. So like even this morning we saw the sunset.
Sunrise.
I do that every time. I don't know why.
It's because you're a night owl, so I feel like you start going down in the morning instead of at night.
That's probably what it is. But like we saw the sunrise for the first time since we've been here. That we literally rode up, either walked
Yeah.
or took a bike ride, you know, a couple blocks to see the sunrise.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. But like, would we have ever done that on a Sunday morning?
No.
Mm.
I mean, we were both up at 4:45 this morning. Weird. That was so weird.
So weird.
Just wide awake, ready to rock.
But like you said this morning, it was probably because it was so silent.
Yeah. I mean, you wake up and it's like a eerie kind of like still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's different for us because,
We get to work from home.
yeah, but I mean,
Well,
I
what
like it.
are you finding from the quarantine? Is there anything that calls out to you that's like, you know, you're having some alone time to less stress maybe for you because, you know, you're not going to work, you're not doing what you're like, is there anything that maybe calls out to you that is like, okay, this quarantine was good because it made me blah? Is there anything
Yeah.
that,
I mean, I feel like even though I'm working from home, I feel like I've gotten a little bit more done around the house because I'm here. And
you have the time?
yeah, like, and you know, I'll do my work and I mean, we've been trying to stay on the same schedule. Like, even when I take breaks at work, I've been trying to do the same breaks at home, even though sometimes it's a little bit harder to focus. I'll say that. Like, I have to turn on music. I've been listening to meditation music to kind of help me, like,
Oh, really? That's
tune
good.
in. Yeah. So when I have my headphones in, I'll just, like, put meditation music, and that makes me focus a little bit more. Rather than
Like
if I...
as you're working?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because when I put, like when I'm at work in the office, I can put up pump up music just to drown out everybody else and be okay. But here I feel like since I am stuck inside, I feel like it gave me more anxiety to be like pumped up. So,
Yeah.
and it made me a little bit more distracted to like hear words in the song.
Yeah.
So now I listen to like no words, and I'll just helps me focus a little bit better.
It makes a lot of sense.
And especially since, like, you're here too working, like, you're doing conference calls, and I'm trying to write emails, and sometimes I've caught myself writing what you were saying, and I'm like, what the hell? So I have to, like...
It doesn't help that I'm super loud, I'm sure, too.
Yeah. I have to tune you out.
And we have no walls.
Well, that's what
Doesn't
I
help.
told my manager, because one day we have, like, call blitz. So, like, it's 30 minutes, and we have to, like, make as many calls as we can during that time. And one time you had a conference call in those same 30 minutes, and I had to message him and be like, hey, like, I don't got doors.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do these calls later so you can count mine later. He was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm trying to navigate upstairs and me.
Yeah, I wonder if there's another way. There's really not another way to do it.
No.
Unless we put, like...
We would have to, like, get a contractor to build a wall and a door.
Yeah, we'll just buy another house.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't going to be forever, and now I think I've gotten used to it, so I just put my earbuds in and navigate.
But, you know, I'm kind of glad that you got a chance to see this at least once, where you realize that even working from home, it is not as exciting as one would think. Like, everyone's probably out there thinking, oh, this is great. You know, this is... And then finally, once you do it, you're like, this sucks. Like, to try to get motivated and to...
That's
you
the
know,
hardest part.
That's the hardest part, is to wake up every day and, you know, stick on the schedule. And that's why I kind of like we stick with the same schedule in the morning, wake up, have the coffee, maybe do an episode of something if we have time, and then get right into work, and then maybe around lunch try to get a workout in or something like that, go for a walk. You know, that's definitely good, you know, because that's what I try to do when I'm by myself, is just get out of the house, do something.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, I now like working from home. It was just like the first week, like I said, it was like 3 new programs I had to learn. And I was like, I would love if someone could just sit with me and be like, this, instead of like having to message, wait for them to respond to me, and then I'm like lost as hell.
Right.
But I mean, I like working from home. Like I said, I feel like I can get more done at home. I feel less stressed, because honestly, the bane of my existence is driving to and from work. It is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is the worst. I hate it. Like, if we could afford a chauffeur, I would pay to have someone drive me around.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Traffic is the worst.
It is.
Well, especially with all the construction and all that.
Construction and, like, people down here just are stupid.
Well, that's another great thing. Maybe the city, maybe each city, maybe the whole country decided to just shut everything down so that way we can finish all these roads that we
Yeah.
have construction. Like, there's no excuse now. So, like, Orlando, Tampa, for those of you out there that live out in those cities and you know how much construction is going on, like redoing the roads and stuff, there's no excuse. That shit should be done by, like, May 1st.
Well, remember
because
we
no
went
one's
on
on the road.
we went on this Selman and there was progress, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's been in the same position for a long ass time.
Yeah, the toll road that we live on, the Selman Expressway. Yeah, it's actually looking really good, like it might be done soon. So that'll hopefully boost us some timelines and give people a little break. You know, people that, and you know, kudos to those guys and gals that are working out there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's kind of shitty. Their days aren't really stopping like ours is.
And they're not stopping, and it's an added stress of potentially coming in contact
Yeah.
with
exactly.
someone that may have it. Because
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, and you know, I really enjoyed this time the most, I think. Like, even just around here, even though it doesn't look as clean, but like all these totes and bins and my drawers and all that, like I organized it finally yesterday and emptied out underneath everything there. And, you know, all my podcast stuff that I condensed it into that box and, you know, kept it organized. And, you know, I think we all need kind of like Monday through Friday, if you work a normal job, Monday through Friday, or weekends, whatever. But if you have like 5 days that you work, those other 2 days, you don't want to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're so lazy during this time, because you have all the time in the world to Netflix and use your phone and fuck around and all that stuff, so when you finally get all this time where you can actually take care of everything, I think it'll give people a chance to like get everything, like you said, to reset right where they want it to be, and then now we just got to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe we need like, you know, we need a virus every 20 years. I don't know.
It's possible.
To reset.
I mean,
You know.
history has replayed itself many times with
Yeah.
things like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a very long time since we've had to deal like with actual like medical type of scenario like that, but like
Yeah, I think SARS was the last time, but that was
Yeah.
like I think that
but
was
even
like,
Ebola was like 2 years ago.
yeah, Ebola wasn't as bad as SARS.
No.
SARS, I think that was in 06, I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
Alexa, when did the SARS epidemic happen?
What year?
According to an Amazon customer, the SARS outbreak was from November 2002 to July 2003, with
Hmm.
most cases occurring in spring of 2003. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for your feedback.
Thank you.
So yeah, 2002, 2003.
I was in high school. I didn't follow it that
Yeah,
much.
I was 18 at the time, but that's super interesting. So that was the last time.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
20 years.
every 20 years. Who knows?
I mean, I think it's when you think about it, and that's just me, like, in my own head, I just think it's also environmental. You
Yeah.
know, things, the way the air quality becomes, all those
Absolutely.
types of things.
Well, the
What?
Earth, over time, for millions of years, has always found its way to, you know, reset the population, whether it's dinosaurs or, you know, the Stone Age or the Ice Age. It always has found a way to kind of like be like, all right, motherfucker, listen, you're just little, you know, atoms and neutrons. You don't mean shit, okay, bucko? I'm the Earth. I'm Mother Earth. Earth?
Earth?
I'm Mother Earth, okay? You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. You sit down, you kneel down to Mother Earth, okay? Oh, no, you're not gonna? Really? SARS, boom. Coronavirus, boom. Ice Age, boom. So,
I feel like it's definitely stems from environment.
yeah. And it's definitely, you know, but again, what I like about something like this, and there's not a whole lot to like about this virus, but what I like about this particular virus, and a lot of viruses, all has to do with the immune system. So, and I talked about this on my last podcast, where it's like, if you just take care of yourself, things like this won't affect you. Now, if, you know, Mother Earth decides to, you know, attract a meteor to hit Earth, you're kind of fucked. But when it comes to like SARS and coronavirus and Ebola and all that, usually if you have a strong immune system, you could fight that stuff off. So if you take care of yourself all the time, and you're eating right, you're being healthy, you're occasionally active here and there, and you're not treating your body like an amusement park all the time, your immune system is going to be able to handle something as aggressive as this. And then the rest of the people that are unhealthy, you, as Councilman Jam says, you get the stinky boot.
You got the stinky boot.
That's right. So, you know, this is a test. Pretty much all the old, unhealthy, fat people are toast.
Survival of the fittest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 2 weeks, I was freaked out because obviously, like, you had traveled, I traveled. I was
Yeah.
sitting in an airport when it all started, like, shit hitting the fan,
Right.
and I was in panic mode. Like,
Yeah.
I had, like, 4 panic attacks. Not gonna lie.
Let's talk about. Let's get on a positive topic. Let's talk about Bimini. Big, huh?
Pre-pandemic.
So that'll be a good screenshot photo. Pre-pandemic. Alright, cool. So yeah, of course I had an event, a spring break event in the
Yeah.
Bahamas. And it started like the second week of March. It was the 9th, and then it was a 3-week event that we had planned where it was going to be kids from all over the country that were going to come do a spring break in Bimini, Bahamas, which is like, it's considered North Bimini, so technically it's about, 45 miles or so east of Florida. And the whole idea is these spring breakers come to Fort Lauderdale, Miami. They take a ferry to North Bimini, and then North Bimini, there's only one resort. It's the Hilton. But the whole island is only like 2 miles. That's it. It's one little island.
Yeah.
So these organizers, STFU, shout out to STFU, my boys John, Jason, and Simon, they rent out pretty much the whole resort, and kids come in, and we just have this massive party. So normally it's the competition that was there. Those jabronis that have the bull in the name. I forget what it's called. But this year it was Monster. So that was a big event. I was super, super proud of this event. And first couple of weeks went incredible. So I was out there week 1, week 2. I had to come back to do some other stuff. And then week 3, we were planning on going out. I was going to bring you. You were going to use some vacation time. And then right when we got out there, on I think the event started on Monday. So we got out there Friday night or Saturday, whatever it was.
I flew down to Fort Lauderdale on Friday night, but
So we're going to leave Saturday, right?
But even that week leading up to it was when it started escalating.
In the country, right?
Yeah, it was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Even on Thursday, there was just craziness in the office, and Friday I had to fucking go to the airport, and I was freaking out.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything. There were workers in hazmat suits wiping down the benches every 15 minutes. You were sitting there and they're like, excuse me, and I had to go like this, and they wiped the handrails. I was wiping my own seat.
Yeah, and that was really before. I think China only had it for a month and a half or 2 months at that point.
Well, they had already been 6 weeks or
Quarantine,
5 weeks
right?
in quarantine.
Yeah.
But then it started coming here.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. Anyway.
So of course we made the decision last minute. All these events started canceling, Ultra Music Festival in Miami canceled, and then Coachella. Once those 2 events canceled, it's all right.
It was a domino effect of
we
every
had to
event.
pull them. But of course we were already there, but then the resort was kind of going through this weird phase where they didn't necessarily want to invite any other people, obviously, to the island. But then we were having issues getting back to Florida because they wanted to shut down all the ferries, because typically the ferries, it's not a cruise ship, it's a ferry. So it goes from Florida to Bimini, but it's usually only locals that come. But sometimes, occasionally, people day trip. But the problem with Florida is a cesspool of international folk. So you never know who's gonna be
And
here.
Fort Lauderdale became a hot spot at that point.
Because it's spring break.
Yeah.
It's the worst time to have. Okay, so if you're a virus, and you're just kind of
Wiggling through time.
You're when's the best time for me to hit?
Hot.
When it's hot, when it's everyone's spring breaking, when can I get the most infections? It's spring break time. So this COVID-19 knew what to do. Fucking wobbled to Florida, and now we have the most cases out of the whole country, not surprisingly. Of course, we had to cancel the event, but we got a nice, what was it, Saturday, Sunday? So I think we left Tuesday.
We left Monday.
Was it Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning? So we had 3 days?
Yeah, because we came back and then I continued to use my vacation day Tuesday.
Yeah. So we had 3 days in Bimini. So what'd you think about Bimini?
Absolutely amazing, and I want to go back. I feel like it's pristine. Very nice. It's very small. I just really love the fact that, if you've been to, what is the other area in Bahamas? Not Freeport, but what's the other one?
Nassau?
Nassau.
Mm-hmm.
It's worlds different, but it's within miles of each other.
Yep.
Just because Nassau is so touristy.
Mm-hmm.
It gets jam packed with all the cruise lines and all this stuff, and then Bimini is just chill. Like you said, we can take a golf cart and it's 2 miles. Water is beautiful. The people are nice. It's not. Obviously, any other country, late at night, I'm sure it gets a little bit shady.
Of course.
Especially if you're not a local, but it was just beautiful, relaxing. It was kind of a blessing in disguise that all this happened.
Yeah.
Only because, I'm not a very, social person. Big crowds freak me out. So it was kind of like nice to be able to have those 3 days, just you and me. The event canceled, and then the chaos began of trying to get off the fucking island, which was crazy. But Bimini,
we ended up taking the seaplane.
that was the worst.
I loved it. That was my first time. It's your first time too.
Yeah, I'm just not. I literally almost threw up.
So if you haven't taken a seaplane, that's the one where it's got the 2 floaters on the side, and you lift off in the water. It's a wicked good time for sure.
I mean, it's a great experience, but my fear
Yeah.
of it took over more so than actually enjoying what it was. Like when we got in it, I started panicking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We took off. It was pretty smooth considering.
Sure.
I looked out the window for like 2 seconds and then like
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that there was one pilot that you could tell he was training the other guy, and the co-pilot, because it was only you, me, and two other guys.
he goes,
he
"Do
goes-
you have any questions for me?" I was like, "How long have you been flying?"
Don't ask that. Don't ask that, because he ended up saying about a year.
Yeah, and I was like, I literally.
But he was in
got-
training, so
Yeah,
you know.
like the other guy was technically flying the
Right.
plane, but still, it made me nervous.
But that's the worst question you ask. I don't want to know.
It just blurted out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
because really at that point, I mean, you're on it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it
Point of no
wasn't
return.
horrible, but like towards the end, like it started like doing this little number, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I need the bag, and I could not find it.
But I mean, in March it gets pretty windy too. Mm-hmm. So like anything you do on the water, because the cold fronts typically end around like, first, second week of March. So you're still getting some cold fronts and stuff coming in. So it gets a little aggressive. So yeah, sometimes that wind and stuff. But
Towards the end, I was like,
yeah, it's
I
a cool.
gotta get off this.
It's a super cool experience though.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm
it's
sure
only,
we'll never have that chance again.
Right.
It was cool for what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it's only a 30-minute flight from water to water. It's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, since because of the virus and, we have to go through customs. And then the guy that we were with was from Venezuela, so he had to go through customs. And they're like, oh, they might make us sit on the plane. And I was like, I swear to God, if they make us sit on this fucking plane. He goes, it gets pretty hot. And he said that, and like my heart started like racing. And I'm like, I wanted to say shut up. Like, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me anticipate that I'm going to be sitting on the water in this hot-ass plane.
Yeah.
Two of the worst things that could happen. The only thing that was saving me was the fact that the vent was right on my face.
Yeah, the pilots we had, or the people that were with the plane, they were so like cavalier about everything. They're like the clowns that if you were to be at the Grand Canyon and you were to do like a walking bridge, they're the douchebags that say don't look down.
Yeah.
They're those guys.
Well, that's exactly.
You don't
Because
want
he's
those
like,
guys.
oh, I can't remember what the other guy that we didn't know said, but he goes, oh, well, this might be my last flight. And I'm like, why you gotta say shit like that?
not
Like,
okay.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, all of those things built up, and then the plane started going like this, and that's when I was like breathing into a bag.
Yeah, all I did was I threw on some that flight in particular, I put on a Joe Rogan stand up because it was
Well, I
about
was
an hour
playing
long.
music, but
Yeah.
like,
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
it was bad.
It's hard to get out of your head with something like that.
Well, even when we first got on, the guy that we didn't know sat in the front row, and the pilot was like, oh, can you guys sit in the 2 back rows so we can bounce the plane? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You have to sit in the back of the plane to bounce it? So if 4 more people were here, what does that mean? Like, they can't ride?
Yeah.
Then why have those seats? Just put me in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
So all those things just... But it was beautiful to fly over the water. Like, when we got up, I saw a shark because the water is so clear.
Crystal clear.
Like,
Yeah.
I could see straight to the bottom. I saw some manta rays, saw a shark, and I was like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Close my eyes and carry on.
Yep.
But Bimini is beautiful. I would recommend it to anybody. I want to go back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a quick trip.
For
and
sure.
I feel like it's like you're going to paradise, but not spending like,
thousands.
like thousands of dollars. Because I feel like when we did the hotel. I feel like it wasn't that expensive, but I'm pretty sure it was probably a discounted rate. But still, I mean, it's a Hilton. I mean, we stay at the Hilton a lot. I'm sure if we had points and we went there, it wouldn't be like thousands of dollars that we waste. And the food,
Food was pretty good.
it was so good.
Food was good.
I'm very sad that I wasn't able to try that sushi place.
Yeah, that was disappointing because when we were there that weekend, so we got in Saturday, so Sunday shit started going south, where we were like, okay, we need to get the fuck off this island because they're about to shut it down. And
Yeah.
by the way, side note, in case you're wondering, the island's shut down right now. So it
Yeah,
literally
it
shut
literally
down.
shut down on Monday
Yeah.
afternoon, and we left. No,
Yeah, Tuesday.
Monday afternoon.
Well, Tuesday. Tuesday was Monday night was the last flight. Tuesday we're like, yep, you're out. That's it. They stopped all the ferries. They stopped the flights. So the whole thing shut down. So we got
And it was
super
even-
lucky.
And it was even weird to be at the resort because like people were just very aware of what was going on.
They
and
knew.
Keeping distance, like
Yeah.
that. First of all, funny story. When we were waiting to go on the fucking seaplane, the lady in that holding area, the old lady that like took our passports, she, okay, every 2 minutes spraying hospital grade
Yep.
sanitation spray
Yeah.
everywhere and wiping all the handles, wiping the counters, wiping the tables, wiping the furniture.
Oh, they know.
We were in there for like 30 minutes, maybe
Well,
four.
and the floors. They mopped the floors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes, this woman was spraying every 2 minutes
Yeah.
to the point where the fumes were like giving me a headache. And then this guy comes in there. First of all, she also sprayed our luggage, and she
Oh, I
was
didn't know
wiping down the luggage. So anytime anyone came in, she was wiping. The fumes started getting in my head, and then this fucking guy comes in with a mop with bleach water and just slaps it on the floor, and I'm like, she opened 2 windows, and I was like, I have to get out of here. Like, I'm getting high off the fumes because she was so paranoid.
Oh, we were stoned when we got on the plane for sure.
Hell yeah. I had such a headache, I stepped outside.
Yeah.
Which I understand because she was older, so obviously she is more susceptible.
Yeah.
But holy fuck. Like, it was only you, me, and that other guy, and like one other couple that actually left before us.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of transactions.
No. Like
Like,
nobody
people
was touching anything.
People would come in, maybe they'd, go in, they'd use the bathroom because they just landed, and they would leave, but no one was like touching
She
desks
was
and
literally
handles.
cleaning the trail.
Yeah.
Cleaning
But that was a week one that things started
Yeah.
to get a little crazy. But again, that's, I guess it's better safe than sorry, but she probably read a lot of headlines and she's like, oh, older people get old people.
Yeah.
So she probably was freaking out doing it. But,
But
it's
she
just,
got me high as fuck.
yeah, that shit was crazy, man.
But
That was
then when we
unnecessary.
turned in the golf cart, like that lady was like the complete opposite. She goes,
She
"Oh,
was right.
all these tabloids are just scaring you guys. Like, I don't understand why they're doing that. If it's your time, it's your time." I'm like, okay.
That bitch was on her way out. She was just
She
not
was
giving a
on
fuck.
island time. She
Yeah.
was just like, this shit's not getting me.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It was nice to have a vacation. We got some vitamin D. I feel like if we didn't do that, I feel like it would have been worse off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, it's funny because in our condo complex, like, our building doesn't get sun on our balcony, but the ones across the way do. So even if I wanted to, like, get some sun, I couldn't go out on my porch
Right.
because it never hits our porch.
Yeah, the buildings are in the way.
But, like, the other side, like, they get full-on sun. I'm like, I need to become friends with the neighbors across the way.
Which would kind of suck because their electric bill is probably like $100 more.
Oh, yeah.
Because they probably get the sun.
so hot. Like,
Yeah.
we could turn off the AC and our house stays cool.
Yeah.
It never gets hot.
It stays like 75, 76.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pro. But yeah, the con is definitely not getting sun. We could fuck up the roof, but at least we got some sun, and that's why the walks are so important. I think when we're quarantined, that's another reason I wanted to talk about this is, with these 2 weeks, you could chime in on this, but I think the big thing for me was getting organized, doing all the stuff that I know I'm not going to be able to do once things get back to normal. And then my big thing is like taking like a mental shot of like, this is how it stays. Don't fuck it up. If friends come over, family come over, get it back to this, whatever it is now, make sure it stays like this all the time. Because I feel like if things are more organized and things are always clean, not really clean because that's hard, but if things just kind of stay a little bit organized and not so messy, that it doesn't fuck with your head as much. Because like if you ever go to a model home, which we've done a lot because we're trying to buy another home, but if you go to a model home, it's gorgeous. And it's not just because the cabinets are new, and it's because there is no paper on the counter, there's no pencils fucking hanging out, it's clean, it's organized, it looks good, it looks sexy. And if you had your place like that, and you know, you kept your room clean, quote unquote, not just your room, but mentally too, like you keep shit upstairs cleaned, and you do all the stuff that's on that list, and you check off all the boxes, and you keep things organized, you know, I think it helps. So I think this is a good time for us to kind of like get things organized and get it set up. But once you do that, have like a time where it's like an hour a day, maybe you clean up something like, you know, you wanted to clean the porch forever, so you worked your ass off to do that. So you clean the porch, now you don't have to do it next week. You know, it's done. You know, maybe it's every 3 weeks you do it, whatever. But you keep that organized. Now that's off the list. You check that off. You feel a little bit better. Because honestly, how many times you sit on the couch, you're watching Netflix, then you look out on the porch and you're like, oh, it's gross.
Every day.
Every day. But now you're probably looking at it like, man, that looks good. It's like a finished accomplishment. Like
It looks sexy.
it looks super
It
sexy.
looks clean.
Yeah. Makes you feel good.
Well, yeah. But then before, well, I'm sure I had the time, but it was like I was so tired that I'm like, I know this is going to be such a fucking process. Like, I don't want to do it. So I would just close the curtain.
Exactly.
But, I mean, to that point, like, when I was growing up, I was not a clean person. Like, nope.
Really?
Not at all.
That's quite a shock to me.
No, it's not. Shut up. It was way, way worse. Like, way worse.
Like your mom worse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
Yeah, her mom's pretty bad.
So aggressive. Like, I would do laundry and put all the clean clothes on one half of the bed, and instead of just putting it away, which would be the logical thing to do, I would push it to the side and just sleep on half of the bed.
Oh my
And
god.
just grab my clean clothes from the other side.
We would
but
totally
now-
be divorced if you did that now.
But now, that gives me anxiety,
Yeah.
because the older I've gotten, I've realized that's a little crazy.
A little nuts.
And, like, I know sometimes my closet will get out of hand. But once it starts getting like that, I feel myself getting stressed out, and I'll start hanging on my clothes.
Right.
My thing is collecting shoes right now that I'm still working on. Putting the shoes away. But, again, with all this coronavirus shit, it's making me paranoid, so I'm making both of us leave our shoes downstairs. I spray them with Lysol, just because also, like you said, headline reading,
Yeah.
it was, oh, it stays on shoes for 5 days. The fuck it is. Spray that shit with Lysol.
No doubt.
Leave them downstairs. But I'm trying.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the past couple weeks, I wash my makeup brushes. You ladies know that doesn't happen that often.
That's fucking process. Even
Yeah.
I know that.
Well, I wash my makeup brushes, and I haven't put on makeup till maybe I've put on makeup twice
Yeah.
in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
How dare you?
Baby, you got natural beauty.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
But yeah, I haven't put on makeup. So, again, to the point of a reset. All these girls not getting, their lip injections, their Botox, their eyebrows, their eyelashes. They're not putting on makeup. It's a nice little reset for your skin.
Yeah.
It's going to look bomb.
Mm-hmm.
People are practicing more self-care, doing masks. Like, normally, I mean, I used to do them more, but now it's like every 3 weeks, maybe I'll remember to throw on a mask, but doing that self-care.
Yeah. Masks are big.
Yeah. People aren't getting their nails done. So their nails are big. Either, if they do have gel, it's probably sitting on there and it's looking ratchet as hell. But if you remove them, at least your nails are getting a break.
Yeah.
So take this as a little bit of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. To
For
kind of
your
reset.
Yeah, your skin, your mind. Like, I have a couple of friends that have recently become single. Worst time to be in quarantine, by the way.
The worst.
You break up with someone and then you're just by yourself.
Yeah, I know all my single friends. I know who they are because now that I play video games a lot now, because I actually have the time, all my single friends are on. It's like, you have 25 friends that are online. And I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, because they're all single and they're just stuck at home. What else you got to
Yeah.
do?
Like, even my girlfriends that are single. Like, one of them just recently became single. And she's like, what a time. What a time.
It's a shitty time to be single, for sure.
Yeah.
Because even if you did a Tinder date, I mean, you know, you can't even do Tinder and go
No,
out and
you
meet them.
can't go out on dates.
Yeah, it's fucked
You
up.
don't know where that person has been, so you're not going to invite them to your house.
Fuck
Like,
no.
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting there in your thoughts by yourself.
Oof.
Yeah.
Not okay.
One downfall is that I was pretty proud that I was averaging like an hour, maybe an hour and a half a day on Instagram, and now that's gone up to like 5.
Yeah.
Very upset about that.
And now that we downloaded TikTok today.
Fuck TikTok. Why'd you do that to me?
Yeah, I told you. I've had it for like 4 months, but I haven't
I
used
went
it.
into a 30-minute
Mm-hmm.
hole of just, I don't even know what I'm doing on it.
You don't need to.
Apparently you
It's-
swipe up and the next video pops up.
Yep.
That's all I know.
Yep.
That's it? That's all there is to it?
Well, you do that, and then, you know, it's essentially you can create your own video, or you can just take videos from other people, like we did, and you could do that. Or you could just create your own TikTok, and sometimes people like it enough to where they'll grab your audio, and once they do that, that's how you become TikTok famous. I mean, it's really, like we said, it's Dub Smash, but upgraded. And if you guys don't know what Dub Smash is, that used to be the tits back in
If
the
you don't
Disney.
know what Dub Smash is, you're too young.
You're too young, yeah. Because that was only like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Are you a toddler watching my podcast? What are you doing? Go to bed.
But like
But-
I said, I think Dub Smash
Yeah,
bought out TikTok.
Could
and it's
be.
just more catchy.
could be. Yeah, this TikTok thing's a big problem. But you know, again, that's the thing where it's like social media is, it gives you an appreciation for it, but I think we needed this also because you could tell how, like, social media was really taken over, and still has, of course, but when you get back from home, when you get home
Drunk
from
already?
work, yeah, when you get home from work at like 5 or 6 p.m., the first thing you want to do is you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, or you do some social media shit, and then you realize, oh fuck, it's already 8 o'clock after I had dinner. So now you're wasted your whole day. But the interesting thing about this quarantine is you have all the time in the world to do social media. So it's almost like we have to purge and get it all out of our system, because we did that TikTok for like an hour and a half. But now I'm like, okay, that's a lot. I need to take a break for today.
I mean, my head was hurting from looking at
Right.
my screen for so long.
So maybe that's what we need, is maybe we need to, you know, use this quarantine not just to refresh the earth from an environmental standpoint, but also like kind of refresh ourselves and be like social media is not that important.
It's not.
You know, like there's other stuff to do that you realize, like going out and hanging out on Riverwalk right here by the water, taking the water taxi to like Ybor and just hanging out and having a drink right on the water. We can't even do that right now. It kind of downplays social media, and it makes you appreciate what's outside. At least in my opinion. I mean, some people are probably like, oh, finally I get to play on TikTok for 6 hours.
No, I feel like it drains my
Totally.
mental shit.
Yeah.
I get a headache from looking at my phone for so long. And I looked at my activity today,
Oof,
and I'm like,
don't do that.
it's so different because, like, when I'm actually in the office, you can tell, like, from, let's say, 6 to 6:45,
Mhm.
you see spikes in how many times, like, how
Sure.
much social media. But then between 8 and 5, it's, like, super low. And then it hops back up at, like, whenever I get home. Sometimes it takes me fucking hours. So, like, from 6 to, like, 6:30 while we're getting ready for dinner, it spikes again. But now it's like a consistent spike,
Spike.
all the way across, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like how it looks.
No, it's not a good look.
I got, you know how you get like that weekly report?
Oh yeah, read it
Like,
out. Let's
you
see what
get
that is.
the notification. I was like, I am. Okay. Today, I have averaged 4 hours and 23 minutes. The fuck? Not okay.
That's a long time.
But let me
It's
go
almost a whole
ahead.
work day.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. In my defense, I do a lot of stuff with the podcast, and I post stuff on 2 channels. So it says my average time is 5 hours and 45 minutes.
Damn, son. You on there more than me.
Now hold on, creativity, because you know it's branched out. What's your creativity? Do you know what your creativity is?
Yeah, during this quarantine, I averaged on Sunday, March 22nd, I averaged 8 hours and 30 minutes. Are you fucking out of this? That's a work day. That's a full-on work day.
That's today?
No, March 22nd. It was a Sunday.
Oh, the 22nd. Yeah. Just for one day?
One day.
So my average just today alone was 5 hours and 45 minutes, but an hour and 40 minutes was social media, and the rest of the time was creativity, which is like me designing stuff for the podcast, you know, doing stuff like, what's your creativity? Probably 0 minutes.
Hold on. Reading and reference 2 minutes, creativity 46 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
TikTok 43 minutes.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
that's interesting. I spend the most time on Instagram, but
Yeah.
TikTok today was an hour and 40 minutes just today. And by the way, if you don't have an iPhone, I'm sure Android has something pretty similar. But if you're not using this, it is super impactful, in my opinion. Like today, obviously, you know, we're talking about it, but
So I traced it back before this pandemic, okay? Just a random day, March 10th. You can see 2 hours and 31 minutes was what I averaged on my phone. Half
for
the
the
time.
day,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you can see, like, I'm at work, barely, and then after work and before work.
And look, most of that is messaging too.
Yeah. It's
So if
crazy.
you take that out, it's
I spent 27 minutes on Instagram during my workday
versus.
versus 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
today.
Yeah. So this is super impactful. Like when you look at this and you say, whoa. And again, it doesn't mean you have a problem. It just means think about how many things you could be doing around the house, how many, you know, times you can hang out with your spouse or your family, or even just like using 20 of those minutes and FaceTiming, like, you know, a family member that you haven't talked to that's out of state or something like that. So if you're not using this tool, it's a really, really interesting tool. If I find myself like using Instagram too much, I'll be like, let me look up my weekly report and my daily report, and I'll pull it up and I'll be like 3 hours on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, I need to fucking shut this thing down for sure. So yeah, if you're not using that, definitely take advantage of that tool. That's a good tool. But you know, this is what's kind of cool about, you know, there's a lot of negatives that come from this pandemic and, you know, hurricanes and, you know, massive disasters, like staying at home and being stuck. There's a lot of negatives with that, but the one positive is it really helps you with self-awareness, helps you reflect, you know, helps you kind of understand what you have to do.
Helps you
and-
figure out if, you know, we can survive trapped in a house.
That's right. And the answer is,
I almost killed you a couple times, but it's fine.
yeah, but we made it.
How many times have you almost killed me already?
Not literally killed you,
No, but
definitely wanted to strangle you. Probably like 6 times.
damn, that's more than me to you.
I mean, it's, you know, not bad. 1 every 2 days. It's not horrible. If it's 1 a day, then I think we got a problem, but, you know,
No.
we're good.
There was only one day that I almost strangled you like 4 times.
That's right. Well, I mean, you know, even my friends want to strangle me every day, so I get it. And I'm able to put out more podcasts, so that's cool.
Have you though?
I have, kind of, but 2 of them I forgot to record. One of them was a Facebook Live, but I don't know. Was there any what are some closing remarks? Whether they're good, bad? What do you think about this whole 2 week that we've been in quarantine? What are the positives from it? What are the negatives of it?
All right, so I'll do 3 and 3.
Talk to me.
Okay, so you want bad news or good news first?
Give me the veggies first.
So bad?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
They're good for you, but
Mm-hmm.
So 3 negatives that I have found
Mhm.
is it's a little bit harder to get motivated,
Mm-hmm.
like to get to work. I also read a report talking about how it takes like 28 minutes to refocus once you're like working at home. So it takes like 28 minutes to get back in the groove. So think about it. If you get distracted like 5 times,
That's a good point.
that's like an hour and a half that you wasted
Sure.
trying to refocus. That's one issue that I'm having. Another one is, yeah, I get a little bit stir crazy, like having to be stuck in the house, even though I love being home, but just having to be here, like not being able to like socialize at work,
Yeah.
you know, have like that,
See your friends.
yeah, like that outlet.
Sure.
It's a little bit hard. And the
Even though they're watching right now.
And another negative is the fact that, like, luckily my mom has her sister in town keeping her
Right.
company, but the fact that she can't see my dad, I can't see my dad,
Yeah.
that stresses me out. So that's a little bit hard.
Yeah.
But I know he's well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
My mom calls him every day.
That's good.
We're good. So those are 3 negatives.
Let me get the dessert. Give me the good stuff.
The good stuff. I feel like I'm less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have more time to do household things. Like, I've even cooked a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. And it's been
Which-
fantastic, if I could say so. Be so blunt as to say.
Of course.
Absolutely incredible
Like-
food. Didn't realize how great of a cook you were. This has
I mean,
brought out.
Don't go that far.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right.
But I'm saying, like, I've felt more motivated to actually cook more than I would when I go into the office, because I'm just,
You probably have the energy and the.
yeah, and I just have the time, and fuck it.
Yeah.
Third is we've actually done more outdoor things now than we do on a regular basis. Like the bike rides and going for walks, and kind of like I appreciate it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But we have done that, and I've actually, worked out a little bit more
Yeah,
than
at home.
because I'm not as tired,
Sure.
and it's like a welcoming break.
Yeah, makes sense.
And, spending time with you all day is not bad.
Oh, well. Golly jeepers, thanks.
Gee, golly, mister.
That's great. That sounds awesome. I would have to concur with all those. Yeah. I would say the big thing I'm not too excited about is just in my line of work. I mean, all my events were canceled, and I worked so hard for it to put those together, so I'll have to wait until 2021 to see those come to fruition. It really made me realize, because you know how much of a crazy workhorse I am sometimes.
All the times.
And like I try to do the podcast, so very similar to like when I have a Crohn's attack. This really made me realize that nothing matters. Like, a lot of stuff matters, but really nothing matters. I mean, your health matters and your family. That's pretty much the only things that matter. And you could lose your job, and if you're listening out there and you lost your job because of this, obviously this doesn't pertain to you, and I apologize, it sucks, but maybe this is a sign that you need to get another job.
Better job.
A better job. Maybe this was a blessing in disguise. But I think this really made me realize that A, I'm very fortunate for the job I have, but also B, the world itself keeps spinning, whether I work or not, whether I go outside or not, whether I put out this podcast or not. But like, nothing matters really that we do on a daily basis. So I think if you just appreciate kind of your circle, that you're involved in, and your direct impact of people that you can infect with your positivity, and calling family members and texting people. I've texted more people now than I have in years,
Same.
and just having fun and just relaxing and not stressing out too much about it. And I think when this thing calms down and we get things back to normal, if we can carry on that same mentality of we still work hard when we go to work, but when we get off work, that's it. Pretend you're on quarantine. You don't need to worry about work. You can't go outside. It's given us a good chance, and I think everybody to save some money. I think that's a huge plus. Where I always joke about being cheap. I think there's a good chance to where people can understand 2 weeks in quarantine and I have a fuck ton of money. That's a huge benefit. And then you could take that shit ton of money and you can invest it into something else, or you can go on vacation, or you can do a lot of cool stuff, that you wouldn't be able to do because every day you're going out to the bar and spending $20, with friends.
Way more than that.
Yeah, well, $20 a person. You got a spouse. Oof, I feel bad for you. That's like close to $100 every time you go out. I think it's giving people a chance to kind of understand.
But at least those are shared finances.
Yeah.
It's bad when it's the people
Boyfriend,
that are
girlfriend.
dating,
Right.
and they still have to pay for the other person because that's their money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's not our money.
And you're probably spending $1,500 on a studio apartment. Maybe this is making you realize if you did lose your job, and you're spending that amount of money on rent, maybe not only do you need to find another job, you need to downsize, maybe sell some of the stuff. Because in my last podcast, I was talking about being cheap, you know? So it's like, maybe use this time to look around and, you know, collect things for Plato's Closet. And even if you get $20 for it, and you get $20, you donate the rest of it. Maybe it's going to help someone that, you know, was homeless. So there's a lot of things that we could do, I think, to kind of minimize everything, cut everything down, and just look around and just realize we got a lot of shit that we don't need. You know, when you're in quarantine and you can't leave your home, in 2 weeks, if you didn't use that item in your house, get rid of it. Because you don't need it. And I think, you know, one thing to take from this is all you really need is toilet paper.
Apparently.
That's probably the,
some households, yeah.
I guess that's the only thing you need. But anyway, I think it'll be good for us. I think it'll really be good for the environment. I think that's great. Just kind of give that a reset. And, you know, population control. You know, hate to say
It's
it.
true.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, listen.
Natural selection.
Natural selection, yeah.
Also, I have a rant. Real quick.
I love a good rant.
Real quick.
Talk to me.
So, I want to make this as
Politically correct?
politically correct and not sound insensitive. But at the same time, like, come on, bro. So, I have read a couple of posts. Okay. That's where it starts.
Never good.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there have been people that have been personally affected by this pandemic.
Sure.
They've had family members test positive. There's even been, you know, a couple of, you know, fatalities because of it. But they, in their post regarding this fatality or whatever, they sit there and bash other people that are trying to make light of the situation only because they're personally affected by it. But it's like, I get it. My condolences are with you, and I'm so sorry that's happening to you. But at the same time, I have to maintain my sanity. Everyone else has to maintain their sanity. Like, we're all trapped in a house.
That's so true.
Like, we're all losing our shit. Everybody's routine is shaken. It's been turned upside down. So, just be mindful. Like, yes, you are upset that it's personally affected you and whatnot, but don't sit there and bash everyone else that's trying to make light of a situation.
Right.
When, you know, obviously we're all in this together. We're all in this fucking shit together.
Yeah.
Don't bash people for trying to stay positive during this. It's not like, yeah, there's people that have said, like, insensitive things.
Of course.
It's gonna happen. But at the same time, don't sit there and be like, oh my god, all you people that are doing these challenges on Instagram and, you know, I'm over here like my uncle passed away. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not making me, it's not because I'm taking a snapshot of me taking a sip because I saw a sip.
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't have sympathy for what your family's going through. So just, you know, take that into account.
That's such a good point. Yeah. Because again, I mean, when any type of tragedy, I mean, you know, you go back as far as something as aggressive as like 9/11, which really in comparison isn't as bad as this, like worldwide, right?
Yeah.
Because this is affecting everybody.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay to make a light of the situation, to any situation. I mean, it's just
You have to
because it's every minute is a celebration of life, and if your uncle or family member or someone passed away from this disease or anything else, you want to mourn, you want to do your thing, and as long as someone's not being insensitive directly to you, you shouldn't be mad at them for living their life, especially if they don't know you. Like, you know, I'm doing a sip for sip challenge on TikTok. I don't know that your uncle passed away 6 hours ago. Like, that's not my responsibility. And if you post about it, if I say, get over it, you big baby, okay, be mad at me.
Yeah.
But if I'm just living my life trying to make positive of this shitty worldwide situation, you shouldn't be hating on anybody.
Exactly.
It's just one man's opinion.
It's like, I'm just trying to have fun while I'm stuck in my house 24/7.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, live this up now, because it ain't gonna be like this forever. Eventually this thing will come to an end, and the hardest thing in the world is gonna be to get back to normalcy.
Oh my god.
to where you're going to have to wake up every day, you're going to have to drive to work, you're going to have to live your life in
You're gonna
traffic.
have to wear pants and put on a bra. Ew.
Correct. Eventually, we're going to have to dress up and go to work. I mean, look at this hair. Look at this makeup or makeup? What?
Oh.
Look at this mustache and beard. I mean, it's shit's getting out of control, but I can't even get my hair cut because my barber's
Yeah,
shut
I was
down.
supposed to have a hair appointment this week, and she texted me and canceled,
Yeah.
and my grays are sitting in my head.
So if there's any time to be a bum, to drink your face off, play a bunch of stupid games, be crazy on social media, now's the time. Let's purge it out of our system so that way when shit gets back to normal, we can really get out there and kick some ass and get this world back to where it needs to be.
Appreciate
So.
the time that you are able to have with your family members.
Yeah.
Even if it's via FaceTime, phone calls, be there for each other. Don't sit there and bash people just because something happened to you that's upsetting. Like, just look at the light.
Light at the end of the tunnel. It's there.
Yeah.
Well, this was good. We covered a lot. Feel good about it?
Yeah. You feel good about it?
I feel great about it.
Fantastic.
An hour and 20 minutes. How do you feel?
An hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and
Get
20
me
minutes.
the fuck off this microphone.
Whoa, Betsy.
Bye.
All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, everyone's staying safe out there. We appreciate you taking this time that you have kind of to do nothing, and you choose to listen or watch the podcast. So, much love. Appreciate that. If you haven't heard it before, don't forget, visit one of the sponsors and supporters of the podcast, Superfat. They got a big product coming out soon. I can't announce it until like April 2nd, but I'm super jacked up about it. Visit superfat.com. It's the nut butter that's keto friendly, vegan. It's actually peanut butter that's good for you. So check it out. Superfat.com. Use the code Berardo10. You're going to get a discount. You're going to love it. But thank you for tuning into the podcast, ladies and gents. Again, I want to say thank you to the lovely wife for joining me on her third episode. We're gonna get you in here more often. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to have you come over to the studio.
Considering I live here, that's a very low number that I've been invited.
That's right.
I'm offended.
I know. I apologize. It'll happen a lot more. You'll see this gorgeous broad on a lot more. So thank you, my
Welcome.
love, for tuning
Thank
in.
you for having me.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.